Good morning, students. Today we are going to start chapter 14 of our social studies textbook, which is the second chapter of geography section, India, location, geological structure and physiography, part 2. Now, part 1 we have already studied, students, and in that we saw where does India lie in the location, how much area is occupied by India. Also, when we saw about geological structure and the physiography, we also saw about the types of plates and how the mountains have been formed. Today, we'll see little more in detail. So let's be with me here. Now, India, the landform which is irregular and has some undulation on the surface of the earth is called physiography. It includes mountains, plateaus and plains, etc. Now, so what is a physiography, student? The landform which is irregular, which is not just a plain surface but has some undulation on the surface of the earth. That is called as a physiography. Now, and that includes what? Mountain, plateaus, plains. Now look at this picture. Over here the features, the relief features. You get to see the mountains. Now, we have seen already the example of Himalayan mountains. How the Himalayan mountains have been formed. We saw in the last chapter. Due to the movements of the plates, due to the movements of the convergent plate, how Himalayan mountains came to be known as. Then you see also over there volcano. How the volcanoes have been formed. Volcanoes, if you go to see, that when the magma comes out from the earth's crust, due to the tectonic plates and all, we get to see the volcano. Then you see over here also the glacier. What is the meaning of glacier? Glacier is a freshwater source where the snow remains on the top of the mountain. And the glaciers have been formed where there is the iceberg, is the heavy piece of the glacier. And so students, you get to see the different terms given over here. You also see over here island. Now what is island? Island is a piece of land surrounded by water. It could be the ocean, seas, or it could be the lake, river and all. There are two types of islands. We have different types of islands. In India we see the Andaman Nicobar Island. We also have the Lakshadweep Island, which I had already explained it to you in the last lesson. Now, just come over here. I am not going to explain all these forms because they are not right now important for us, but for you to know what is that physiography. And so it is mentioned over here, what is hillocks, what is valley, river, plateau, lakes, how they have been formed, the oceans, the dune and all. And so students, something of this we are going to see it over here. Now, come to the next part. Over here, pay attention. On the basis of physiography, India can be divided into the following physiographic regions. And they are, the first one is that Northern Mountainous region. Second, Great Northern Plains. Third, Peninsular Plateau. Fourth, the Coastal Plains. And the fifth is the archipelagos. Now, students, these other terms, that is the Northern Mountainous regions or the Great Northern Plains, Peninsular Plateau, the Coastal Plains, that is what something you will have the idea. But what is the meaning of archipelagos? Now, archipelagos is the islands. For example, over here, this Andaman Nicobar Islands. So the islands in short is known as the archipelagos. Now, the plural form of islands are called archipelagos. So many islands, so the plural form of islands is known as the archipelagos. Now, have a look at this map, the relief. Now, I will be explaining it to you on the next page, on page 107. But just have a look at that Indian relief. You get to see the different colors. And look in this box. It has been mentioned to you, it has been described, it has been told to you in detail what is it about. But before we could go, now you know the Indian map very well. We have seen in the last chapter who are our neighbors in India. which are our neighboring countries. Okay, so please be with me now. After having a look at this, after having a look at the map, I want you to be with me. Look at these different colors. I'll be explaining it to you. Now, come to the next page, students. Northern Mountainous Regions. Okay, now Northern Mountainous Region, I'm going to explain about it, student. I suppose all of you have the textbook. Now, this is an important natural region of India. It is known as the Himalayan mountain system, spread over 2,400 kilometers in west-east direction in the north. It has an arc shape. Its width ranges between 240 kilometers to 320 kilometers. The Himalaya is not a single mountain. Please underline, student. The Himalaya is not a single mountain but is a complex of many mountain ranges. Going towards east from Afghanistan, it extends up to Myanmar via India, Nepal and Bhutan. It has more span in Tibet in the north. It is a part of mountain system known as Palmyra Knot. Now, students, we are talking about the Himalayan mountain, how it has been spread, and from where to where, and what is known as the Palmyra Knot. I have told you to have look at this, okay, and the colors also I told you to notice. Why did I tell you to notice at the color, to take the notice of the color? Because I just want to explain you something. See, this is called as a Palmyra Knot. We saw it over there. The Northern Mountainous region that we saw, that this is an important natural region. It is known as the Himalayan mountain system. It is known as the Himalayan mountain system, which is spread over 2,400 kilometers in the west-east direction. In the west-east direction. And student, it has the arc shape. The width range is 240 kilometers to 320 kilometers. Now, this Himalayas is not a single mountain, but it is the complex of many mountain ranges. We will see it in the next point. But going towards the east from Afghanistan, okay, it extends up to Myanmar. Via India, Nepal and Bhutan. So students, over here we are talking about via India, Nepal and Bhutan. And then it has more span in Tibet in the north. It has more span, students, where? In the Tibet, in the north. Okay, this is Tibet. It has more span in Tibet in the north. It is a part of the mountain system known as Palmyra Knot. Look at this. This is a Palmyra Knot they have given over here. That's the reason I told you to have look at this. See, still look at the colors. This is the Palmyra Knot. This is the arc shape spread over here from the Afghanistan towards east. Okay, and it is not a single mountain, but it's a complex of the ranges. Now, Himalayas, just come to the next page over here. Himalayas, on the whole, can be divided into two divisions. Northern Himalayan region, and second is the Eastern Himalayas. Northern Himalayan regions, and second is the Eastern Himalayas. Let's see about the Northern Himalayan region. Now, look here. Look here, students. Now, there are, in the Northern Himalayan region, there are three mountain ranges parallel to each other. Underline that. In the Northern Himalayan region, we see that there are three mountain ranges which are parallel to each other. The northern range is called the Greater Himalayas. Make a bracket to it. The northern range is called Greater Himalayas. This you have to remember in the exam. It can be asked in the one sentence or it can be asked in the MCQs. So underline that Greater Himalayas. The northern range is called Greater Himalayas. This is the loftiest range among the Himalayas, wherein there are more than 40 peaks which exceed height of 7,000 meters. Underline that 40 peaks and 7,000 meters. So what are they saying? This is the loftiest ranges among the Himalayas, the highest ranges, wherein there are more than 40 peaks. It is not one or two, but there are more than 40 peaks, and which exceed the height of 7,000 meters. Most famous among them is Mount Everest. Underline. Most famous among them is Mount Everest, which is 8,848 meters high. Highest is the Mount Everest. Though it is said that the three mountain ranges are parallel to each other, the loftiest ranges among them is the Himalayas, and there are more than 40 peaks among them, and 40 peaks, and they exceed up to the height of 7,000 meters. Among them, the Everest, among them, Mount Everest is the 8,848 meters high. Okay, you will have to underline that. It is on Nepal-China border. It is on Nepal and China border. It is known as Sagarmatha in Tibet. Underline that. It is known as Sagarmatha in Tibet. Students, in Tibet, Mount Everest, it is known as Sagarmatha. Underline that, student. Other famous peak is Godwin-Austen or K2, which is 8,611 meters. So, the famous among all, the highest is the Mount Everest. But we are talking about the other famous peak is Godwin-Austen or K2. The height of it is 8,611 meters, which is the highest peak of India. In India, it is the highest peak. Okay. Now, students, we saw Sagarmatha is called in Tibet. That is Mount Everest. But in India, K2 or Godwin-Austen is the highest peak. There are three distinct ranges in Himalayas which are almost parallel to each other. In the greater Himalayas, there are some high mountain passes such as in the greater Himalaya. Students, we are talking about the greater Himalaya. Okay, and there are some high mountain passes such as Jalapla, Nathula, Shipkila, etc. Underline Jalapla, Nathula, Shipkila, etc. Also, Manasarovar, which is considered to be a sacred holy place in China, is located in this range. So, students, these names you will have to remember. Which are the mountain passes, students? They are Jalapla, Nathula, Shipkila, etc. plus Manasarovar, which is considered as the sacred, is the holy place in China. Now, look here. You are given over here the highest mountain peaks. The topmost on the highest number is the Mount Everest. The height of Mount Everest is 8,848 meters. Whereas second is K2, which is also known as Mount Godwin-Austen, 8,611 meters. Kanchenjunga is the third, 8,598 meters. Whereas Makalu, which is 8,481 meters. Dhavalgiri is 8,198 meters, and Annapurna is 8,070 meters, that is 8,070 meters. This is for our information. It is better to know. For us it is nice to know which is the highest and which is the second highest. Also which is the highest in India. Okay, let's come down. Second range in the south of the greater Himalaya is also spread in a wider area. Students, on the top we saw that the northern range is called as the greater Himalaya. Here we are seeing the second range to the south of the greater Himalaya is also spread and in wider area. It is called central Himalayas or the lesser Himalayas. Underline. The southern part is called as the central Himalayas or the lesser Himalayas. Now, go ahead. With a width ranging from 80 to 100 kilometers, this range includes mountain range like Pir Panjan, Mahabharat, Nagatiba, etc. Many hill stations have developed in this moderately high range. Some of these hill stations are, underline students, some of these hill stations are, which you will have to remember. which you will have to remember, underline them. They are Dalhousie, Dharamshala, Shimla, Mussoorie, Ranikhet, Almora, Nainital, Darjeeling, etc. Gangotri, Yamunotri, Badrinath, Kedarnath, Hemkund Sahib, etc. are the famous holy places. Kullu, Kangada and Kashmir are extremely beautiful natural valleys in this region. I am going to show it, student. I am going to show it in the map. But just remember, these are the holy places, these are the valleys. Come down to the next paragraph. Third range situated in the further south is known as Shivalik, outer Himalayas. Some students call it as a Shivalik, some call it as a Shivalik, student, outer Himalayas, and most of it falls within India. It is about 10 to 15 km wide and has an average height of 1000 meters. Peculiar valley formation have taken place in this range, which is covered by gravel, stones and thick sediments. Locally, these are known as dun. Example, Dehradun, Patli Dun and Kothari Dun. Students, underline these three. This dun, which are the dun known as, and they are Dehradun, Patli Dun and Kothari Dun, etc. Students, now have a look at this. Just look at this map, and over here it is mentioned to you about the Norton Mountainous region, the plains of North, Central Highlands, Peninsular Plateaus, and they have explained it over here. Look at this. This is the physiographic divisions, which just now I am not going to explain it to you, but just want to show you the islands, which we have already seen it. Look at this physiographic division, okay, which are known as the coastal plains. You get to see the coastal plains over here. Then you also can see this area is the plains of North. Okay, come to the next page, students, over here. Have a look at this. See, in this box you are given the different ranges, which are the mountain peaks, hill stations, valleys, dunes. And over here they have given already, you see. These are the places which we saw, Dalhousie. Can you see, students? Look here, I just want you to see the lesser Himalayas, greater Himalayas. You see the Shivalik, outer Himalayas, which I told you, 10 to 15 kilometers. Average height is 1000 meter. Okay, look at this now. Here, we saw that there have been different, look at this, as I told you, the famous places, okay, Shivkila, Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath, these are the holy places, students. These are the holy places. We also saw just now about the dun, what is dun, and we saw about the Dehradun, Patli Dun, Kothari Dun. Look at these, students. These are the duns. Okay, we saw that the Shivkila, Jalapla, okay, Manasarovar, which are the holy places located in these ranges. Just have a look at these, students. Then look here, students, Dalhousie, Shimla, Mussoorie, which are the other places we saw, Ranikhet, Darjeeling. Okay, these are the hill stations. You can see over here Nainital and all. These are the here over here, Ranikhet, Nainital. These are the hill stations. Look at these, students. See, Jalapla, Natula, Shivkila, which we already saw, students. Just have a look at this. Okay. Now have a look at the board, students. The India location, geological structure and physiography, part 2. I have given you almost 6 questions, which you already just now what I taught to you from there only. What do you mean by physiography? Classify the Indian region on the basis of physiography and so on. There are 6 questions, and the last question is which is the highest peak of India. Students, you can write also how much is the height, how many meters it is. So please write these question answers. I'm going to stop over here. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.